Let's take a toast to Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, 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 Puff Daddy.
Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died.
I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
I wasn't willing to do what was expected of me.
It seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning is all gone.
Facing new allegations.
Music mogul Sean Diddy.
Music mogul Sean Diddy
beat her, forced her to have sex with male prostitutes.
Sean Diddy Combs is one of the most prolific entertainers, music moguls, businessmen we've ever seen in history. Diddy has become like a one-stop shop for everything you need. You need music, he got you. You need legendary artists, he got you. You need clothing, he got you. You need to get drunk, he got you. And you want to have a party and be entertained, oh, you know Diddy's got you. You see, the key is when Diddy's got you, to not be captured and never let go. Diddy's a Harlem kid, born in 1969 on November 4th, raised in Mount Vernon. His mother, Janice Combs, was a model and a teacher's assistant. His father, Melvin Earl Combs, served in the U.S. Air Force and was an associate of the well-known, notorious Frank Lucas. Of course, that didn't go very well for long, as Diddy's dad was shot dead while sitting in his car in Central Park when he was 33. Diddy was only 2 years old at the time. You know, Diddy was a only child, so you already know he got the only child syndrome popping off. He was a business major at Howard, but left after his sophomore year. He was a college dropout like the great Kanye West. In 2014, he returned back to Howard University and received an honorary doctorate in humanities, and he delivered the university's 146th commencement address. Right around the time when Diddy dropped out of college, Uptown Records was in full effect. 1986, Andre Harrell was in a rap group called Jekyll and Hyde. At the time, Uptown Records had featured the likes of Heavy D and the Boys, Marley Marl, Al B. Shore, Father MC, and a host of other acts. Andre Harrell also had a personal assistant that was also there for the jump. Her name was Kim Porter.
Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, Al B. Shore, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant.
At the time, Uptown Records was just another record label. But in 1990, they brought in Puffy. Diddy and Andre Harrell became good friends, and Diddy, well, Puffy at the time, quickly rose up the ranks. Diddy was in charge of getting things started for Jodeci and Mary J. Blige. In around 1993, Diddy had managed to land 2 more acts, Craig Mack and the Notorious B.I.G. But at this time, Puffy was fired.
But I didn't do it to hurt him, but I knew it was time for him to grow. And the only way he could grow was if he was going to have the same kind of corporate conversations that I was subjected to. And then he would understand what he could and could not do. And the final straw for me was when MCA wanted me to not put out the Biggie Smalls album because they didn't like the subject matter, and they wanted me to tell him he's got to change his tone. And it wasn't up to me, I felt, to tell a generation what they could and could not do artistically.
He was forced to form his own label, and he took Craig Mack and Biggie right along with him. Now there's all kinds of rumors to how Diddy landed the money to start up his own record label. He was in an unpaid internship. How could he afford this? Rumor has it, music exec boss, big boss, Clive Davis became pretty fond of Diddy. Well, Puffy, as he was known at the time.
When his boss name is Clive Davis. Clive run him. Diddy don't run himself.
Have they ever had anything past business? But I almost wonder, like, well, damn, you know, did they ever have anything sexual? I just wondered that.
I who worked personally with Clive Davis, and they had to leave him before they hurt him.
To the failure of my second marriage, having read something about bisexuality, my story was different. I just found that I would open myself up to the possibility of a relationship based on the person and not on gender. And I did after seeing a man or a woman for about a 4 or 5 year period of time, interregnum, entered into a relationship with a man.
No matter the relationship that Puffy formed with Clive Davis, it worked because Clive Davis helped fund Bad Boy Records. Most say this is where it started for Diddy, all the negative stuff, and they're pretty much blaming Clive Davis for this. But Diddy's a grown man. He makes his own decisions. He chose to do the things that he did. The first ever single for Bad Boy Records was Flavor in Your Ear by Craig Mack. Being a New Yorker, being from Staten Island, at the time I was around, 93, 94? I was about 9, 10 years old, bumping that Wu-Tang. Flavor in Your Ear was everywhere. And then when he dropped Juicy, Biggie's first single,
Good baby, baby. It was all a dream.
Bad Boy was on another level. Diddy then signed Faith Evans and Toto, followed by a couple years later signing 112, and then some more rap act, The Lox and Mace. And around this time is when the sweatshop began. The Bad Boy sweatshop it is. You see, Diddy has always claimed to be a producer. He'll be executive producer. He even tried to get writing credits. But we all know Diddy had no experience with music. That's one of the reasons why when he joined Uptown Records, it was an internship, unpaid. He didn't know nothing about music or the music business. The people in his sweatshop included Easy Moby, Chucky Thompson, D-Dot, your boy Stevie J. Diddy had a bevy of in-house writers and producers. Pumping out the hits seemed like 24/7. It seemed like a modern day Motown the way he was getting it done. And Diddy, as we all know, arrived. We all know about the brewing East Coast, West Coast thing going on at the time, 95, 96. There's plenty of documentaries on that, so I'm not going to get too much into that. Not only did Diddy have to deal with the whole East Coast, West Coast beef brewing, he had to deal with things at home base in his own record label. After Biggie and Tupac were killed, Bad Boy Records was sort of like in the dark ages, in suspended animation. They had so many plans for Biggie and all the artists on the record label, but without Big, it seemed bleak. Diddy was already dealing with the rumors that he wanted Biggie gone some way, somehow, to steal his masters. In 1997, under the name Puff Daddy, Diddy recorded his first commercial vocal work as a rapper. His debut single, Can't Nobody Hold Me Down, spent 28 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, peaking at #1. His debut album, No Way Out, was released July 22nd, 1997, through Bad Boy Records. We all know this as the formal introduction to Mace, Black Rob, and the Lox. As Diddy was enjoying much commercial success, on the other side of the coin, the legal battles were brewing. He had been charged with assault of Steve Stout. Steve Stout was a former manager to Nas, Trackmasters, and Mary J. Blige. That was settled, of course. Then, in December 27th, 1999, Combs and the beautiful J-Lo along with his new signee and protege, Shine, got into that infamous nightclub shootout in downtown Manhattan. Diddy had Johnny Cochran and Benjamin Braffman represent him. And you know what they say about Johnny Cochran. If you get Johnny Cochran to represent you, man, you guilty. Diddy was found not guilty on all charges, while Shine was convicted on 5 of his 8 charges and sentenced to 10 years. Some say that Clive Davis behind the scenes pulled some strings to further guarantee that Diddy wouldn't do any time. Remember, a woman was shot in the face in this nightclub incident because allegedly Diddy got into an argument with another man. In 2001, Combs ended Bad Boy's joint venture with Arista Records, gaining full control of Bad Boy. Diddy celebrated this with another album, The Saga Continues, released July 10th of 2001. Whew, I was in high school around this time, maybe 10th, 11th grade. The Harlem Shake was in full effect. Every day in the cafeteria after lunch, there was some shake battles. But the late 90s is when we started hearing all of the bullcrap involving Diddy. For dozens of years, Diddy has been accused of manipulating artists, swindling them out of their masters and publishing, and downright just stealing. Diddy is still accused to this day, but one particular feud turned particularly way worse before it got better. Diddy's feud with the Lox.
What got you to that point in the first place?
Slavery. I don't know what better way to put it to you. Like, it's like if you was coming to this job every day, right? And you putting in your hours, you know, you did what you did to make yourself the voice in New York. And I'm in the cut somewhere taking half of your money. Make a hit.
When you got signed to Bad Boy in the first place, you sold your publishing to Puff, right?
Now, this is what happens when you're young and black and coming off the street and coming from high school or wherever you coming from. You don't really know what's going on, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And these lawyers, you gotta charge some of it to the lawyers too.
Definitely.
You know what I'm
You get in
saying?
that situation.
You gotta charge yourself first and foremost for putting your John Hancock on the paper. But then, like, after a few years and after 10 years and 12 years, you become of age and have kids and have a life ahead of you. Nobody never took nothing from me. Like, it's hard for me to look at Diddy.
Say like Puff took nothing from y'all.
What is it then? What is it? What do you call it? What do you call it? And don't say we can come to your office or do none of that, because we can't do none of that.
You look at Jay-Z, nigga, Dame made millions, Bean made millions. All them niggas around them made real money, nigga. You ain't made 200,000 with you, nigga. But you done made over 60, 70 million off us, nigga. And we ain't make 200,000 a piece off you, nigga.
At the end of the day, we're all just willing to turn a blind eye. Diddy is just literally known as the guy that doesn't pay his artists. And it's funny, and then you move on and you like something that he did on TikTok because he's funny. But for people that worked for 6 years of their life and entered an industry where somebody made, what, $48 million?
Nearly $50 million?
And we didn't even see a penny of that, and we were in thongs and 5-inch heels for years of our lives on stage.
And that's the real problem.
All right.
And that's just the beginning.
All right,
then there's people that try to do bodily harm with me. They will be in the house with Puff. So I'm like, it's a funny game y'all playing behind the scenes. So when people see me, they just see me turned up. They just see me agitated. They just see me aggressive, but they don't know why. Yo, I did this nigga told me he want receipts. Let's start with your mother, nigga. Your mother got the receipts, nigga. Everything is in your mother's name. That's the one who got the receipts, nigga. You need more proof, nigga? Biggie ain't here, so Big can't give you no receipts. He dead. Craig Mack can't give you receipts. He dead. What are you talking about? Who else? Black Rob can't give you receipts. He dead. And everybody else you made sign paperwork so they can't talk about what I'm talking about.
You read about it. You took classes on it. You went to, a weekend seminar, whatever. There's nothing like actually having to live these things of the music industry, the business, publishing, all that, to really teach you and really get you on your game.
It's the same thing that he gave to all his artists when he gave them their publishing back. I'm gonna give y'all publishing, but y'all can't talk about Janice Combs, Justin Combs, Sony, Bad Boy, or anything that happened. Y'all can't talk about none of that. But there's some artists that didn't say anything, that didn't sign it, and they able to talk about anything they want to. And I think that's those girls that was, I think Danity Kane. I think a couple of them didn't sign it. And boy, oh boy, they probably gonna go after him too.
In 2021, many acts that were associated with Bad Boy Records were able to recoup their publishing. But publishing isn't even half of the money that's owed to most of these artists. Let's talk about back funds. Let's talk about shows. Let's talk about everything. Diddy still owes him that money.
I'm following Puff, and his parties were like amazing. We were in Philly one day. I fly to Philly, town car, same business, go up. But Puff say this party, Playboy, this party right here, I see $1.5 million. I said, nigga, what? You spent $1.5 million on this party?
Everybody knows Diddy's parties are epic. I always said I wanted to go to a Diddy party. But now, shoot. I don't know if I even want to go anywhere near Diddy. Check out some of this stuff.
There's after parties. If we doing it at the hotel after we do a party, or there's after parties after the after party. You understand?
Right. I guess the one people talk about is the after party.
Well, those will be when him and somebody that he needs something from or wants something from, and they'll all go in the same room, and about the end of the next morning, he done got what he need and got what he want. Because 9 times out of 10, he done put those people in a position, in an awkward situation, that they're gonna have to give him what he want.
I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack, yeah, man, Faith Evans, Jodeci, Mary J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag?
Daddy, I like
Actually.
when you scrambling and scraping for shit.
No.
I like that.
Shit. You know, I've been practicing.
I'm gonna have a party, and we had parties, but I was more like just trying to just vibe, like just see where I look back on where I became.
Did you miss me though? For real? Because it seems like a thing.
I
with
miss
this
partying
birthday
with
party,
Puff, man.
But I'm talking about for your birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party. You know what I'm saying? Eyes, brother.
Oh,
Eyes.
Puffy party, the New Year's Eve party. Went to the party. You know,
all dudes?
Yeah. Nah, it was actually a good party.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? It was on
it.
South Beach, right?
Right.
So then we go to the house, and then he invited us to the house because he wanted to go to the club afterwards, right? I was like, okay, cool. So then he's doing his business. We go down and get a drink. You know, we sitting there bopping to the music, and then she point over the corner. It's 2 dudes kissing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, then it's girls in the club too. And then she pointed another direction. It's another dude over there like butt-ass naked dancing. You know what I'm saying? We take off, man. You know what I'm saying? We leave the club directly. I didn't say peace to nobody. I didn't see nobody. Gay. Yeah, it was suspect. A lot of suspect. The club was you could chalk it up to being in Miami or whatever. I've been in a gang. I've been in a gang of clubs, man.
The club was called.
And I ain't never mistakenly stepped into a club having that kind of activity.
This is the first time I was ever in an exotic bookstore with Puff. So I'm giving him his space. He's taking things off the shelves and stuff like that. So there's one part he picked up some things from up here on my left side. And then he picked like quite a few of them down. I was like, okay. He put them in the bag. So when I went by there and I looked up there and it said butt plugs. And I was like, hey, yo. I was messing with him. So I said, yo, what are you getting this for? And it said butt plugs. And he was like, yo, can I do my shopping by myself? I said, yeah, you can do it by yourself, brother. This rapper and him, they all in the room together. It's Sarah, the girl, Puff, and this dude, this rapper. Bruh, you ain't going in there because he told me they don't want nobody to be bothering them. He was like, yo, I don't care, man. I'm going in there. He tried to bum rush me. I grabbed it and threw him against the piano. When I threw him into the piano, Puff and Ja Rule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt the naked. And so then Ja was like, yo, what's going on? Yo, G, that's my cousin. He know me well. And Puff was like, yo, G, what happened? I said, he tried to get in the room. I told him he couldn't get in the room. And he was like, Puff looked at Ja. He said, yo, Ja said, you ain't want to go in that room because there's a lot of freaking going on.
There's so much footage and interviews of people talking about Diddy parties. That would probably be a video one in itself. So many people have stories about seeing Diddy in compromising positions with other men and doing questionable things. I'm not here to judge though. Whatever makes you feel good, go ahead and do it the best way you can.
Can't wait to see 3 a.m.
Yes.
The controversy.
Yeah.
How can we get a take from
Singer Cassandra Ventura, known as Cassie, today filing suit against ex-boyfriend Sean Combs. In the lawsuit, Ventura accuses...
Yeah, but when you think about Kim, I was thinking to myself the other day, Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, I'll Be Sure, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Mm. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead.
Of course he did.
Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. They have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was going to meet up with him because we were in Vegas, and then the next thing you know, you want to know what they all had in common, though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books.
Now, we don't know if Diddy had anything to do with any of these people passing. But the one thing is obvious. They were all former workers, associates, bosses, lovers of Diddy. And if that now dropped lawsuit from Cassie held truth, she was probably going to be the next one. Hey, yo, Young Miami. Man. Now, I posted a poll on November 18th. It got 24 responses. The poll was, even though the Diddy and Cassie lawsuit has been dropped, do you think Diddy is guilty of the accusations? 24 people voted. 75% say he did all of it. 21% say he did some of it. 4% say Cassie is a liar. Let me know in the comments if you think Diddy did all of it, Diddy did some of it, or Diddy did none of it. Let me know. So what do I think? KJ Media 100. I always gotta keep it 100. Diddy has been a part of my childhood. You know, at 38 years old, I was around 7, 8 when Diddy and Bad Boy and Uptown Records was in full effect. But I gotta keep it 100. Although I don't think nothing in this world is 100%, I think Diddy's guilty at least 80% of the things he's alleged of or he's accused of. I believe when people get money and power, that just makes them more of who they say they are. Rather it's been Diddy taking people's money, Diddy taking people's well-being, Diddy SAing women and men. Everybody can't be telling the same lie. Everybody can't be wrong. And with Diddy recently stepping down from the damn TV network that he created in revolt, this is getting crazy. At this point, Diddy needs to disappear, do his things behind closed doors, and start the campaign of repairing his image. Because Diddy comes across as a man that needs to be liked and loved. If you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Help a brother out, and I continue to make great content like this. Until then, KJ Media 100, I'm out.
Where he wanted.
That's how he operates. He has people followed. He has people watched. He does all kinds of fucking, he's a fucking piece of shit.
Too much money.
I feel bad for the kids.